A lot of news items to cover today as we'll talk national tour plans for the Rocket House car, a second confirmed World of Outlaws driver for next season, the XR schedule, and a whole lot more. Let's go. It's Tuesday, November 29th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is Dirt Tracker Daily. Get into the show in just a bit, but first I wanted to let you know that today's episode is being sponsored by MSP Mounts. If you're a racer looking to capture video and make content, or you just have a side-by-side and want to capture your kick-ass trail days, you've got to check these things out. I actually have one right here. MSP action camera mounts are made by sprint car driver Dan McCarron and can be used for all sorts of applications. These things are super strong. They fit any bar or tubing from 3/4 of an inch thick up to 2 inches. That means sprint cars, late models, midgets, modifieds, pavement cars, ATVs, whatever you've got, these will work to mount your GoPros or other action cameras. And you don't need tools to use them. They go on and off really quickly, really easily, and they can be used to capture basically any angle you can think of. And now you might be thinking, hey, why should I listen to the guy with a YouTube show who's never raced a car and doesn't know crap? Well, don't worry, you don't have to listen to me. These camera mounts are used by the best in the business, including Flow Racing and Swindell Speed Labs. So take that, haters. If you're looking for a unique Christmas gift or getting ready for indoor season or wanting to make some content in 2023, go get a few of these things. When you head over to mspmounts.com, make sure to use code DIRTTRACKER at checkout and you'll get 10% off your order. That's DIRTRACKR for 10% off checkout over at mspmounts.com. Big thanks again to Dan for his support of my show. Between Turkey Night and Sheldon Hudenshield's comments, we had a bunch of stuff to talk about yesterday, so I wanted to use today's show to get you up to speed on a bunch of moves that have happened over the past week or so. We'll start first with the national tour plans for the Rocket House car for 2023. Rocket Racing announced yesterday that they will again chase the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Championship with new driver Hudson O'Neal. The Rocket team had been a longtime regular participant with the World of Outlaws, but in a surprise move in 2022, flipped allegiances from the Outlaws to Lucas. They ended the year with 7 wins in 53 races to go along with 28 top 5s and 42 top 10s. They did miss out, though, on the Lucas title, finishing second in the standings behind eventual champion Tim McCready. With Brandon Shepard now departing the team to go out on his own with help from Scott Riggs, team owner Mark Richards made the call to go with O'Neal, making the announcement back in September. O'Neal debuted with Rocket at World Finals, picking up finishes of 13th, 5th, and 8th, including leading laps on the final night. I believe O'Neal is a really strong pickup for Rocket going forward, both because of how young he is and his already wide experience on national tours. He finished second in the Lucas standings in 2021 and 4th this year, and he bagged 11 wins along the way, including a couple of crown jewels. Assuming McCready and Ricky Thornton Jr. are back in 2023 with Lucas, there's no reason to believe that this team won't be in the title hunt all season and in the mix for big wins. We're obviously still waiting on a ton of announcements from drivers about who's running which series. Things aren't super clear right now. But this is obviously a big pickup for Lucas and should be a good team to take a look at for the championship next season. Also on the late model side of things, despite constant rumors of their demise, the XR Super Series will return in 2023 with a full slate of races. Their 2022 schedule closes out this weekend down at Alltech in Florida, and Alltech will kick off the 2023 schedule for XR next February 20th. 13 events are on the calendar for next year. That includes 100,000 to win shows at Volunteer Speedway, Off-Road Speedway, and Las Vegas. The XR Super Series was the cornerstone of the Bristol Dirt Nationals the past 2 years, and this schedule seems to confirm that just like the World of Outlaws, there will be no XR event on the Bristol Dirt in 2023. There are 2 TBAs still on this schedule, one for July 10th and another in December. Besides no Bristol, the other takeaway from this initial look at the schedule is that it's substantially smaller for next year. XR had 23 nights in 2022, and this one has 13. Barry Braun and his team continue to change and evolve as they learn, and we know they are looking at some other late model shows for next season to go along with the revival of Pennsboro Speedway. So still a lot going on with XR. We've now seen the Lucas schedule, the Outlaw schedule, and now XRs as well. There's still some regional plans to decide, and we don't know what things look like for year 3 with the Flow Racing Night in America series, so still some stuff to decide around dirt late model racing. It was about 2 weeks ago that we talked about Noah Gass on this show and his baptism by fire with the Outlaws in 2022. It was a tough rookie run for that squad, but they are ready to do it all over again. The World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series announced last Friday that Gas and his 20G machine will return to the series full-time in 2023. Gas, his dad Randy, crew chief Cody Cordell, and car chief Robbie McQuinn will be looking to build on their 12th place finish in the standings that included 2 top 10 finishes on the year. I think some time to rest and reload should be good for this team, and I know they are busy already using the lessons they learned from the first run at the Tour to make things better for next season. Gas's commitment, along with the previously announced return of James McFadden to Roth, means we now have 2 confirmed Outlaw teams for next year. Once we know the schedule and have some resolution on the Platinum Agreement in the coming weeks, the full-time field should become much more clear. Obviously, a lot of teams right now talking about how they want to wait and see how things play out before they make a decision. We talked late last week about NHRA funny car driver Cruz Pedregon bringing 2 cars to the Chili Bowl, and as of this morning, we know both of his drivers. Yesterday, it was World of Outlaws driver Jacob Allen getting the nod from the cruiser, and just a little bit ago, as I put the show together, it was announced that California sprint car driver Caleb Henry is getting the other seat. Neither have competed inside the Expo Center before, but both will be entertaining to follow. Allen had a breakout season with the Outlaws, picking up 4 wins and finishing in the top 10 in the standings. And if Henry is a name you don't know yet, you will soon. In scattered starts across California this season, he had top 10s and top 5s with NARC, the Sprint Car Challenge Tour, and at Trophy Cup. He also led laps against the Outlaws on his prelim night during Gold Cup and was 12th in the Gold Cup finale. Thanks to Holly Shelton, I got to meet Caleb at a race early in 2022, and I think he has a really bright future ahead. And apparently so do other people, because besides this Chili Bowl shot with Pedregon, Henry will also run next year in the Midwest. Car owner Shane Liebig is putting Henry in his number 10 to run weekly at Huset's in 2023, along with starts at Jackson, Knoxville, and races against the All-Stars and World of Outlaws. So a lot of stuff coming up here for Caleb Henry. One other regional sprint car move to mention as well, Jay Kaiser is hiring Zess Sabo to drive his number 23 next season in Ohio. Sabo replaces Chris Andrews, who is looking towards becoming an owner driver. Sabo had been racing with Rich Farmer and picked up a win at Fremont Speedway. You'll see Sabo and Kaiser all over Ohio next year. With the departure of Casey Schumann from World Racing Group, we knew there were going to be some holes to fill in that organization. We already know it was announced that Hall of Famer Steve Francis is filling the void as the World of Outlaws Late Model Series director, but Schumann was also instrumental with the Extreme Outlaws Series. He's going to stick around in some capacity, though, as he takes over I-70 Motorsports Park, but WRG announced yesterday they have elevated Tyler Bachman to series director for the Extreme Outlaw Midgets. Bachman was the competition director for the series in 2022 and is a longtime World of Outlaws Late Model Series official as well. He's also been invaluable kind of behind the scenes leading safety efforts for the World of Outlaws and DurCar. I've known Tyler a long time, awesome guy, works his butt off, and he's seen the sport from basically all sides at this point. I love this move for both him and the series. All right, that's it for the news items. Let's talk a little racing from Monday night. The new season for the iRacing World of Outlaws Sprint Cars is off and running with last night's opener at Volusia Speedway Park complete. These competitors are racing for $300 to win on a weekly basis to go along with the championship that pays $10,000 to win at season's end. So a total between the championship payout and all the race payouts, $25,000 is up for grabs this season. Keep an eye out each week as I talk about the series because the detractors will be out in force in the comments in these videos below. For some reason, we just can't seem to bring ourselves to understand that this is actual racing with actual money on the line. CarQuest Auto Parts has stepped in as the title sponsor of the series for the season, and that's an actual parts store, not a virtual one. CarQuest is real. So clearly someone is finding value here. Last night at Volusia, some iRacing vets ended up on the outside looking in with names like Blake Majulis, Austin Semmelman, Hayden Cardwell, and Braden Eiler all missing the feature. Things were tight late in the going with 3-time champion Alex Bergeron in the mix with James Edens and newcomer Timothy Smith. Bergeron and Edens were able to make it a 2-car battle in the final few laps, with Bergeron eventually edging away from Edens to snag the opening night win. With defending champion Cameron Merriman not in the field last night, Bergeron will definitely be the favorite all year. The series will run the next consecutive 9 Monday nights through January 30th. These races can be watched for free on Durvision and on YouTube. Plus, Durvision's Chase Rodman is on the call, so if you're an Outlaw fan, you'll hear a familiar voice on these broadcasts. The only things on the streaming schedule today are Dirtvision Now and Flow Racing 24/7. To see the full daily streaming schedule with links to watch, visit dirttracker.com/watch tonight. That's it for the show today. Have a good Tuesday. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the show if you don't do so already. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow for more Dirt Tracker Daily.